So last week we went over the most boring fighter in each division, and you know, that my inspiration for that video was the card right before that, the Strickland, and just that whole card was pretty terrible, right? Yeah, the card was terrible except for the main event, Poirier and Islam, and I literally fell asleep before I got to watch that. So I feel like whenever a certain card happens, it kind of makes me think like a certain way, like it kind of puts me in a certain mood. And after seeing that card, it just put me in a, this is boring type of mood. But now this last fight night that just happened on Saturday revitalized things a little bit. It was a great card. That main event stoppage was pretty terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Jason Herzog was thinking there. That was just insane. I wasn't too mad at it because I put 50 bucks on that fight to not go the distance, and it didn't go the distance, so I'm not sure if he would have fully finished him there. It kind of looked like he was gonna. Like, obviously Jared was on wobbly legs, but he was still defending himself and recovering, so I don't know what happened there. That was just the weirdest stoppage I've ever seen. But anyway, it was a great card. It kind of revitalized my current thoughts on the UFC. It made me more excited now. We got some good cards coming up. I mean, this next fight night's kind of trash, but after that, we got Whitaker and Chimaev, the Saudi Arabia fight night, and then we got the Conor card, so it's looking bright. Yeah, so for this video, I want it to be a little bit more exciting and positive. And so we're going to be doing pretty much the opposite. We're going to be going over which is the most exciting fighter in each division. So let's get into it. And I'm going to include flyweight in this one too. I didn't include it in the last video, but I'll throw it in this one. For flyweight, I'm going to go with Matt Schnell, just because win or lose, his fights are just entertaining. Out of his 24 fights, only 5 of them have gone to decision. And like I said, it's not just him winning. Like, he could lose too, but the fight's still entertaining. So I'm going to go with him. I just remember watching, I don't know if it was his last fight, maybe the one before, but it was just an absolute bloodbath, and I think he almost died. So Matt Schnell would be my pick for flyweight. For bantamweight, I am going to go with O'Malley. I didn't want to be basic and just pick him, but looking through the division, it's hard to find someone that's has a more like clean and just entertaining style than O'Malley. I was gonna pick like Kyler Phillips or something, but they have a pretty similar style. They train at the same gym, and I think O'Malley just has a cleaner version of that. So pretty basic pick, but like pretty easy one at the same time. I mean, he just has a very, very clean striking. Yeah, I mean, everyone's entertained when he has a fight coming up. So yeah, pretty easy pick there. Moving up to featherweight, this one was hard, but just based on his last fight, I know it was at lightweight, but I got to go with Holloway just because of how amazing that was. The only critique I would have for Holloway is just the power. But again, I think his last fight kind of eliminated that belief. Still, I mean, he has a lot of decisions. He's not known to have the best power. I don't know. This might not be the best pick, but to Poirier, like I haven't seen enough of him yet. He does have the power, which you could easily switch these two, but again, this is very like recently. This is very just like recent bias, and I mean, that was one of the best fights of all time. You got to put him in there, but he does have a fun style, like for sure. Even if he doesn't have the best power, he has a super fun style to watch. Like, he's always just super focused. He's always so locked. He has amazing striking. He really picks his shots well. So it's nice to watch. It's appealing on the eyes. Featherweight does have a lot of fighters that go to decision, and so it was hard to find a pick, but you could also say Volk too, of course. And you know, Volk's the one that did beat up Max. Yeah, this could be interchanged with the 3 guys at the top, or even someone else, but I'm gonna go with Max. I'm always very excited to watch a Max fight. After that Gaethje fight, his stock raised up even more, so let's go with Max Holloway. Now for lightweight, this is an interesting one because there's lots of potential picks, and a lot of people's minds probably go to Charles. A lot of people's minds probably go to Poirier, Gaethje, all these guys, but my pick's going to be Michael Chandler. And if you disagree with that, just upon hearing that right away, just think about it for a second. Has this guy ever been in a boring fight? Especially in the UFC. Every single fight since he's gotten into the UFC has been super entertaining. Besides the Gaethje fight, which was still one of the best fights of all time, even if it went to a decision, besides that, he hasn't gone to a decision since 2018. And like I said, even his fights that are decisions are still amazingly entertaining. Not a dull moment. Yeah, I mean, just think about the Hooker fight, the debut, the Charles fight, even though he lost, the Gaethje fight, the Poirier fight, all of them. Tony fight, and now we got McGregor coming up, and we're in for a treat with that one too. So Michael Chandler, his UFC career has been insanely entertaining. His fight before the UFC was insanely entertaining in Bellator. Everywhere. This guy's just... I remember watching... One of the first fights I ever watched was his fight with Eddie Alvarez back in the day. I think it was the first one, or maybe it was the second one, but that's one of the fights that really got me into the sport. I just saw it on YouTube. It had like 20 million views, and yeah, his style is just crazy. Just even his wrestling. Like, he's a wrestler first, and even his wrestling is super entertaining. He's always slamming guys, throwing them in the air. Like, he doesn't have the lay on you blanket type of wrestling. He has the I'm going to pick you up and throw you. And his striking too, it can be sloppy at times, but that's what makes it entertaining too. Like, even when this guy loses, it's still just insane to watch. Like, he's the absolute embodiment of just what you think of when you think of the UFC and fighting, and like what you want to watch. Just chaos, absolute chaos, win or lose. It's chaos, and not just on the feet and not just on the ground, it's everything. He'll throw crazy punches at you. He'll pick you up and slam you, like I said. So, yeah, Michael Chandler, easily. He's must-see TV when it comes to the UFC. So, he'll be my pick, and I can't wait for him to fight McGregor. I think McGregor picked the right opponent to come back to in terms of, like, just entertainment for the fans. For welterweight, Shavkat, never gone to decision. Amazing fighter. Submissions, striking, everything. Easy pick. No explanation. Don't even need to talk about it. Shavkat Rakhmonov is the most entertaining fighter. Maybe in the UFC. Yeah, I don't even need to say anything else, but what I will say is he has pretty much everything, because he obviously has a finishing ability, 100% finish rate, and he's 18-0, and he's super skilled. So he still has that like undefeated aura to him, while also having that crazy finishing ability. Like, never gone to a decision. So yeah, he can do it all. I'm not even gonna waste time on him. We all know. So let's move on. For middleweight, this was really close between Dricus and Khamzat, and I think I'm still gonna go with Khamzat. I think both of these guys are guys that just went crazy on their come up and just fought like maniacs. I mean, Khamzat was just running through everybody, and then I think once they both got to the top, and they started fighting guys that are a little more, on their skill level and just better, it kind of slowed them both down a bit. And I know Khamzat can have a tendency to, like, if he gets tired, he can do the hugging and wrestling a little more, and we saw that in his Kamaru fight. But I'm still gonna give it to him, just because, like, to me, I get more excited for a Khamzat fight than a Dricus fight, and that's just because it's just like crazy. Like, I've never seen a style like that where he just literally sprints at you and like tries to just like kill you, Like, Dricus is entertaining because his style is like very sloppy and just like weird, which is obviously still entertaining, but it's like it's not as like pleasing on the eye, I guess, as like Khamzat, who just like, he has his game plan and he's sticking to it and he's going hard at it. And yeah, I think the fight against Whitaker coming up is going to tell us a lot about him, and that'll either bring it way up or way down. We'll see, but yeah, I still get way up for a Khamzat fight, a little more than Dricus. So Khamzat Chimaev, light heavyweight. Again, it's kind of like the Shavkat one. This is an easy pick. I'm going with Alex Pereira. His style is just too clean. Like, it's not even that crazy. It's not like a crazy, like, insane, sloppy, weird style. It's just like the cleanest style ever, and he's gonna knock you out. It's so satisfying to watch and entertaining at the same time. Just the aura he has, everything about him. So yeah, Alex Pereira, again, this is one that just doesn't need much explanation. He's got that death touch. Like, he's got the biggest, like, death touch in the UFC. He just touches you and you go down. It doesn't even look like he's hitting you hard. And just knowing that can happen at any point just adds so much like suspense when you're watching him fight. So Alex Pereira. For heavyweight, again, this is not a hard pick either. There's lots of guys, especially like it's heavyweight. It's a very entertaining division, lots of finishes, lots of hard hitters. But the reason I'm picking Tom Aspinall is because he is a finisher on the feet and on the ground. He goes hard for submissions, and he goes hard on the feet as well. He can knock you out, he can submit you, he does it all. And yeah, he's always looking for the finish. Just never really a dull moment with him. And just all the buzz he has around him nowadays with the whole John Jones situation and just the heavyweight situation in general. He has so much buzz, and he has such an entertaining fight style. And I think everyone's excited for his next fight. I don't think he has a yeah, he doesn't have a decision in the UFC. All finishes. The way he finished Pavlovich in his last fight was just insane. I thought Pavlovich was going to win that. And yeah, so Tom Aspinall, pretty easy pick again. And yeah, I'm excited for what's next. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to try to be more consistent on this channel. Just comment what videos you want to see, creative videos that people are going to want to watch.